What's up, everybody? This is the Owl Recap, a show focused on covering the news, matches, and results of the Overwatch League. This is episode 43, and I am Andres, your main host, also known as I Play Games in the realm of gaming. Today I'm joined by BlazzinBob. How's it going, my man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Just hanging out. A week without Overwatch. It's been a little rough, but I'm getting by.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
I've been taking a break from everything Overwatch, so it's been a good break.
it's healthy. It's healthy to
Yeah,
let the mind, do other things and come back
yeah.
refreshed.
I've been working out, working on my physical health. Kettlebell workouts are tough, really, really tough, and they
Oh,
work
nice, nice.
weird muscles all over your body.
Hey, I'm proud of you for working out, though. I gotta get back in my own routine too, because podcasting is not the kindest on your body.
No, and you should definitely try kettlebells because dude, I started the first time and it was like 10 minutes and my entire body was drenched in sweat, my entire shirt, my shorts, and I could barely move. And I had to take
I'm gonna,
like a 10-minute break just to be able to do it more.
I'm gonna
That
have to
sounds
YouTube
miserable.
that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
but
to YouTube that because I don't even know what a kettlebell is.
yeah, dude, it works so many muscles at the same time. It just exerts a ton of energy.
Oh, sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Also joining us today is Mel Arena. How you doing, Mel?
Hey, doing pretty good. I
How's
have
your break week going?
it's been weird. It's been like you come home and you're like, it's Wednesday. I don't have anything I need to watch. Caught up on a lot of TV shows.
Nice.
So there's that. But yeah, I haven't played a whole ton of Overwatch either. I mean, a little here and there, but not a ton. It's kind of been like I think the team went on break for Realm Royale and we'll
I
come
will
back
say,
soon.
yeah, I will
Yep.
say, much like a lot of the Overwatch pros right now, I've been indulging in a little bit of Realm Royale. It's fun. It's a fun game. To be honest, the battle system between Overwatch and that game translate pretty well. Like the skill based system, obviously a lot of differences because one is a battle royale versus Overwatch objective based shooter, but still, I don't know. But I tried the game and I felt like I just fell right into it. Like, it just felt natural.
I haven't tried it yet. I feel like I can't get sucked into another game that's going to occupy that much of my time that I've got
Don't
to.
do it. Don't
I
do it.
know.
I've got it. I just haven't gotten on to play it yet. I've been the game I have been playing is what I can play while I work out too, which is Assassin's Creed
Oh, cool.
Origins. That's really. I know you haven't seen me. It's really addicting.
Yeah, yeah. You've been gone this week. I was wondering if you were okay. I was about to text you like, "Hey, man, are you still alive?"
Yeah, I was told just taking a break.
It's good. It's good. Much like Overwatch pros, podcasters and content creators can get a little burnt out, a little grindy, from the day to day of doing the same activity. So
Yeah.
taking a little break to clear the mind and doing other activities, I think it's good for everyone.
For sure. I'll definitely get back into it, I'm sure, this week. So don't you worry.
Oh, I will too. I will too. We have a couple of things to give away. Thanks to our patrons and recap producer Shasir for the continued support at the highest level. Thank you so much, man. You are making the dream work. If
Whoop.
you guys want to join Shasir and support the show, help us reach the games, the playoffs, maybe the finals for sure. We will be there no matter what, rain or shine, or tickets are bought. We're working out hotels and places to stay. So far, I've never been to New York, so I'm very excited to check out the city. We're going to Brooklyn, so the heart of it. I'm sure we'll get the full experience, even though we're only going for a weekend. It's gonna be very, very exciting, especially for the finals, man. That's gonna be the event. There's a lot of people that are gonna be there. Phew, I don't even know what to say. What do you guys think?
I think I might have to sleep in a tent when I get back, but hey, I'm going to work on it and get there somehow, right?
Ooh, production error. Here we go.
Oh man, yeah, this is gonna be my first time to Brooklyn too, and working on it as well. But yeah, I've got plenty of time though, because recently unemployed, so plenty of time, but just working out the money at the moment. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
we are gonna be there.
focusing on the body and the soul right now.
Yeah, getting stuff done.
That's
House
good.
crap that you put off for years because you just don't have time.
Fighting fleas. But let's not even get into that freaking fleas. All right, we do have a couple of news coming in. We have former Spitfire players Tizzy and Wuhyal are going to be joining NYXL 2. So they're contenders division team, right?
Yes.
And this is interesting because contenders have actually been picking up a few of the players that either barely made it to Overwatch League, haven't made it to Overwatch League because of their age restrictions, or even some of them that have fallen out of Overwatch League themselves. Because to be honest, there's a lot of talent that is there, but maybe doesn't make it to the main roster. Some of them have left for other reasons. But for our contenders teams, they're just perfect, right? Like they're exactly what they need. They have the experience of playing in a big arena, in playing for the big prize. So it just makes sense that an academy team like NYXL2 would be looking up to pick up players that have the experience under their belt already.
Right. And I think that's kind of what they're looking for too, right? Like they want to play, they want to get play time and show what they can do. And
Right.
if you can go beyond NYXL Team 2, that's probably, pretty comparable to some of the Team 1s.
And it does make me think that some of these players might end up in some of the teams at the wrong time with the wrong people. And why I say that is, in the world, there's always preferences, right? You're always going to have friends, alliances, allegiances, and even inside of those teams, there have to be some preferences. And just because you're not getting played in the main roster doesn't mean that you can't play at that level, but maybe you're just not vibing with the right people. And in a different environment, that might be a different story, right? In a different environment where you get the chance to shine, you could have that opportunity to get noticed, to be the next Fleta, the next Carpe or Linkser, and it'd be under the spotlight, I think.
Case in
Right.
point, Fisher.
Yeah, that's
Well,
a good
and with
example.
the addition of the flex option where they can go from contenders to the OWL team from week to week, it kind of gives that flexibility if you're on the fence, right? You can sign them to that. Whereas if a player gets sick, maybe they can jump up and show what they've got for a game or two.
Yeah, and now with the two-way players, even more reason to have your academy team, stacked up and good to go, in good
Right.
shape.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much more they introduce that as it goes on because it would be a way to have a actual farm team and really utilize it during the season, like maybe they do keep less players on the actual roster, teams go to more 8 if you're allowed to bring up someone at any time type of thing, like it might make more sense for every team to have a farm team where they're not paying a huge sum for 12 players when they could have the other team to do like in internal scrims and things of that nature. So I think moving forward there might be more of this intercross thing.
I think so
I
too. I think we'll see more 8-player teams with 4 two-way players that they can still be practicing week to week, whether it's with the contenders team or the Overwatch League team, but still be out there playing competitive games with the team. They can still evaluate them every week, and it's not like somebody's just getting paid to sit there and play competitive, you know? And I think
yeah,
it'll help the contenders scene as well. It'll
absolutely.
get more eyes there. It'll get more people interested in, hey, I thought this guy was really good when he moved up to OWL one week. Let's watch him in contenders next week?
Now another thing from contenders teams that I've seen teams do this, but not to a contender team, but to a certain degree. They sign streamers people that are popular on Twitch or have a following already, that they're good in camera, whether because of their personality or because of the way that they teach the game. I know a couple like Emong or Kabaji, the Tracer player. They're both signed to Overwatch League teams as official streamers. So when they stream, they have the brand. I think they're signed to Fusion right now. Either both of them or either one to one and one to the other. I can't remember. But the point is, they're on the payroll, I imagine, and they just carry the brand and just basically do promotion for the teams when they're
Right.
doing the stream. I wonder if there's a space to grab some of these personalities, like having like a person like XQC, or even like at the infamous the Fran, and just like putting it in there. There are players that can still perform, but more than that, they bring attention and they bring a fan base. So I don't know if like the contenders could be a good spot to put this maybe B-side players that just bring different assets to the team in terms of exposure and attitude style.
To be honest, I don't even know if they'd want it just because a lot of the big time streamers probably make more money just doing their stream than spending any time trying to work on a team game.
Well, XQC joined the Goats contenders team. I don't know if he's played yet though. I don't
Just for the
follow it.
playoffs, right?
I think he might have just played once, or he might have already played. I don't know, but I know he did join them, at least for a short time.
Yeah, and in terms of money, I think you're right, Mel. I don't think it would be a financial move on their part. But that being said, we heard what Siegel said in their last interview when they finished the playoffs. They asked him, like, hey, what made you choose to go this route instead of following the streamer route? And he acknowledged that he knew, I know I'm not gonna make as much money doing this as streaming. Streaming probably gets me further, in terms of spreading out my the word and making me known and a personality. But he also acknowledged that being in the Overwatch League was the peak of competition for him, and that's something that you only get to experience there. And being a streamer, I think that you can do that on your off time, playing against the best of the best at the highest of your level while trying the hardest. That's an experience that you can only do through time and grinding it out and being there, right? Like you're not gonna get offered that anywhere else. So
Right.
it's a trade-off that you gotta think about there. Alrighty, guys, let's move on to playoffs. How are the playoffs going to work?
Playoffs.
What teams are playing in the playoffs, and who are we looking forward to seeing? I'm gonna pass it to Mel to guide us through how it's gonna work.
Oh boy. So it's definitely very different than what we've been seeing in the regular season. So the quarterfinals are going to be July 11th through 14th, then the semifinals, the 18th through the 21st, and then the grand finals, the 27th and 28th. The format's going to be the first team to win 2 games, and those games are best of 5. Does that make sense?
You mean like there's 3 full matches, the first team to win 2 full matches.
Right. So if somebody wins the first 2, they don't play the third.
Makes sense.
And then the patch that they'll be playing on is patch 1.25. So, like we already know, Symmetra won't be available, but the Lucio and Hanzo changes will be in. So, that should be noted. We should all see more Hanzo, which might be exciting or might be really frustrating.
Step into the
The,
dojo.
the map pool that they've got is for escort maps, they've got Dorado and Junkertown. For control maps, they've got Oasis and Lijiang. For hybrid maps, they've got Eichenwald and Kings Row. And then for assault maps, they've got Volskaya and Hanamura. The tiebreaker is Nepal. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but how they picked these maps. Did you see?
No, I haven't seen it.
They
Yeah,
picked
they
them.
use balls, the little lottery balls.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
cool.
On Watchpoint, they just like lottery drew out of a hat. type of system.
Nice. Overwatch Super Bowl.
Right? So that was interesting. There was a few maps left out of the bank that they were choosing from, which I know caused a lot
Hmm.
of controversy, but I'm sure they had their reasons. And then I think the most interesting thing is that the first two matches are pre-assigned map rotation, right? If there goes to a match 3, they will change it to the first map, the escort map. The higher seed will pick the map. So out of the 2 escort options, and then the lower seed will pick the side. So if they want to defend or
Oh,
uh,
interesting.
play offense first, right? Then they go to control map. So whoever loses the escort map will pick the map on the control map. Then from there, for hybrid assault and escort, it'll just be the losing team picks the map and the winning team picks the side.
Interesting. So definitely some strategic little nuances that they've added in there, and also small advantages to the losing team, right? Whoever is losing gets to dictate like what the terrain at least that they want to fight on to give them a chance to come back. So even more things for the coaches and analysts to study to try to see where they're gonna get the advantage on the other teams and squeeze them out because a lot of the matches at this point are gonna come down to the coaching side and the direction that they're gonna give him. Just watch some of the Valiant interviews, and all of them acknowledge the leadership and the guidance that's been given to them. When they talk about their match versus New York Excelsior, they say how their coaches basically told them how it was gonna go. They told them, "Listen, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen," and it was almost like reading a book for them. They're like, exactly what they told us happened, and we were ready for it. We knew exactly what we wanted to do. They said they were on top of all their timers, squeezing every last little bit of time that they could out of the clock, and you can see it as a team. Like that's the team that you're gonna have to match going into the playoffs.
I think it's interesting too that it's just for map 3. So if they get to map 3, then they've already played them on each of those maps that are available, right? Because they played one in match 1, one of the escort maps in match 1, and one of the escort maps in match 2. So they know which one they'd rather pick based on kind of those results, if the patch changed anything and whatnot. So I think it's a really interesting take on it.
Now we do have some juicy prices being given off at the playoffs. You want to go through those?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd like to see these numbers. We've got first place gets $1 million. Second place, struggling, gets 400,000. Third and fourth place each get 100,000, and then fifth and sixth place each get 50,000. So it's no chump change there. Everybody gets a nice little payday. What did they
Yeah,
get for stage playoffs? The winners.
125,000.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
So yeah, definitely this has been the highest price so far, and this is not counting the final price. This is just playoffs, right?
Well, I
Or
think
this is counting
first,
everything.
yeah,
Okay,
this
this
is
is
like
counting the
first
finals.
place of the finals gets $1 million.
It's pretty nice. Whoever wins first place basically gets to make a 20th of their investment into the league to buy the franchise back. So
Right.
definitely, recouping some of the investment and with merchandise sales, with whatever they are getting from the league, we know that everything is kind of being pooled and split among the teams. So it's looking like it might be looking pretty profitable for these teams that at least made it to the top 6. You want to go through a little bit of the fun stats of playoff teams before we move on?
Oh, sure. So this is from the Overwatch League site posted by Blizzard, and they just give some Overwatch League playoff stats about the teams. So the first one they say is that the Gladiators only use Tracer the lowest percentage of time in stage 4, which was 12.4%. So they rarely brought out Tracer, right? And in stage 3, they played tracers almost 76% of the time. So they definitely adjusted and didn't go with tracer. And that was the biggest difference there,
Big turnaround.
right? They have Boston has the highest percentage of wins when they go to a game 5. So they're 10-3. They've got a 77% win rate when they go to game 5. So that's interesting to see,
Don't go to game 5 against Boston. Beat
right?
them quick.
The Excelsior and Gladiators have the most reverse sweeps at 3 in the season. And let's see, Valiant have never been reverse swept.
Very
So,
steady team. They've reverse swept, on the other hand, a couple times.
right.
It's interesting though that Fusion though has been basically the reverse sweep queen, I guess. Like these guys
Being on
have
the
given
wrong
more
side.
yeah, they give it up more reverse sweeps than anyone here for
Right.
Fusion. But they are, I mean, there's a reason why they are known as the wild card, and here you have it. The stats are showing it too.
For sure. Another interesting stat about NYXL is that in stage 4, when they played Arc, Jajonak, Libero, Mono, and Pine, they had an 82% map win rate. So basically, when they're trying, they win about 82% of the time.
To be fair, though, they were running similar lineups towards the end. It was only the last stage that they were looking the shakiest they've ever been because they look very strong throughout all the seasons.
Right, but that's just stage 4 stats. So 82% in stage 4 when they were in that
Oh,
composition of
gotcha.
people.
Very nice.
Yeah. So a couple other things. New York's best record on control maps is Oasis, and that's in the map pool. And then on the opposite end, Spitfire really stinks at that map at 5-11. So sorry, Spitfire, but they haven't played many games. I think there was something about Spitfire being the only team. Yeah, Spitfire's the only team with a less than 0.500 record in the playoffs. So they did really good at the beginning. And that
Fiddled away.
somehow they still got in. But other than that, I mean, I think the rest of the stuff isn't anything too game breaking.
Yeah, it's a couple of fun little facts over there. I want to
Hmm.
ask you guys a couple of questions over here. Now that both of you have lost your teams, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but Dallas Fuel and Outlaws are no longer in the running. You guys have been avid followers of both the teams, but who are you gonna root for now? What's gonna be home for you guys, and why? You gotta give me a good reason, not just because the shirts are pretty.
Hey, that could be a valid reason. I'm just saying.
Okay, you're right.
I'm gonna go with my actual second team, and it's the Fusion.
The Fusion, the wildest of the wild cards.
Yeah,
And
Fusion definitely Fraggy. Oh, Fraggy, he didn't get to play. Hopefully, he gets to play in the finals. But free Fraggy, and yeah, I just when EQO came on the scene, he was freaking awesome. I've always liked Boombox. I oftentimes point out that he was Jonak before Jonak, and I just really like their style. I like their coaches.
very aggressive
Yeah,
style.
I've
That's for
talked with
sure.
their coaches a ton. I like their coach classification, the way they classify their coaches. They're just funny guys. Like there's a joke that goes along with that, but one of the coaches was Pretty Coach, and that's what's his name we had on the show. Oh shoot, I'm blanking on it.
Harsha?
No, from Fusion. We had him on
Oh,
early on.
Hayes.
Hayes, yeah. They call him Pretty Coach. Like
Pretty coach.
they have Smart Coach. Like it's so funny. Just talking with them once, you will be a complete fan. So, yeah, Fusion.
They
And
need to
don't
get more
forget
creative with those names. I mean, if they watch Grey's Anatomy with like McDreamy and McSteamy and things like that, like, come on, guys.
step it up in the nickname.
Right.
You can't forget about Carpe either. That man is a force to be reckoned with. One of the scariest widowmakers in the league. When he's on, oof, there's no hiding from him.
Yeah, well, I like a lot of them, so I'm pretty excited. I hope they play the lineup that was the second best win rate in stage four, which at 76%. But it's a little cheap because it had Fraggy in it, so it's kind of a bad stat because he only played a bit. But they had a 76% win rate when he was in, so
I think Fusion is a solid choice. I think that they could surprise everyone over here. How about you, Mel? How are you feeling like it?
Oh, I feel like I wish Houston was in there, but they're not. So I will. I probably root for Valiant. I think I like their story. I really like Custa. I think he's really intelligent and a good talker and knows the game. And I just like how prepared they go in and
Hmm.
how it seems like they know what's coming and they prepare for that and they win that way. And it's not just I'm really aggressive and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, or I'm really passive and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. They're able to change around a lot and adjust to their team and their opposing team. And I think that that's impressive. And so I'll probably root for them. It's a good story. They've come a long way in season one. I think NYXL is definitely the person that everybody expected to see here and is expecting to see in the stage finals. It will be really, really funny though if NYXL doesn't make it to the finals in New York.
Oh, it would be really, I don't know.
it'd
Irony
be
would be what we
awesome
call
because we'll be
that.
hanging out with Blevins, and it would just be awesome.
Oh, Blevins would just have a heart attack, man. He is so ready to be at the finals with New York.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he will be all sorts of decked out. So are you
I
still going for New York, Andres?
Yeah, I'm still rooting for New York, although I do have a second team that I would like to do well. Obviously, I think that New York is one of the top contenders. I really hope that they've been saving their best for last, and we're gonna get a huge display for them during playoffs and in the finals, the best Overwatch that we've seen. Because, like you said, Mel, Valiant right now, I think that Valiant is really leading the pack. They're setting the standard for what an Overwatch League team should be, both from players. They all look very focused, very healthy, and it has to be from the management, from the analysts, because when you watch this team play, they're playing some of the most fluid Overwatch. Everything that they do seems like it's premeditated. Nothing seems like they just did it out of the blue because they panicked or anything.
Right.
Like everything is very organized in that team, and the way that they are switching compositions is very impressive. It's all over the place. These guys pick the hero that they need for the moment, and they're not scared to switch. And all of the switches are very functional. Like you never see them switch and be like, I don't know about that. As soon as they
Right.
switch, you're like, oh no, that's very good. That's working out really good. So I love watching them play right now, and I want New York to match them there. I want them to stop doing the same old thing that they've been doing and try to force it down the throat of every other team and be like, we're not gonna adapt. So I'm definitely rooting for New York. I want to see them in the finals, but I want to see a slightly better game from them than we've been seeing. I mean, Jonah is still a beast. Um, Sabio is still a beast. Pine is awesome, but they're sticking to what they know. I want to see a little more from them. And
Can we
one more,
go ahead?
I was gonna say one more team that I really want to see do well is Gladiators. I don't know. I just like those guys. They're so humble. They are very like happy, jolly, just enjoying the
Humble
game.
Fisher. Humble is not what I would use to describe him.
Are
Maybe
you talking about
maybe
his
the rest
his
of them.
personality or the way that he plays?
How can you play Oh, the way that he plays is not humble either. It's get
Yeah,
in,
well, I agree
follow
because I
me,
agree.
heal me. But I mean, he comes out and talks smack to Spitfire every chance he can get. You know, I mean, he's definitely not humble.
True.
I think that is just because it's too sweet to pass up. You know what I mean? He's showing that they made a mistake, and they should have kept them one of their best players.
Which is not humility. That's all I was saying. I didn't say I didn't like it.
Listen, man,
Oh,
sometimes you just gotta do it. It's too good to pass up.
you
Um,
guys, I think Valiant's best call was putting Custa on Mercy so that he couldn't accidentally alt on the payload when nobody was there on Zen. Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
Custa
Multiple
accidentally.
times.
I
Yeah,
do. Hey, he
twice.
had to make that mistake, and he came out reformed and a better Zenyatta after it.
No, he switched off. He now plays Mercy. he's,
Yeah, he played. Yeah,
he's
I
taken
mean,
away from him.
he probably should have been on Mercy the entire time, but hey,
I
the
mean, it's not
problem
like
wasn't
Kareem
coaching
is not doing
in
a fine
Dallas,
job.
right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was Custa either, but
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. He was playing Zen when he probably should have been playing Mercy.
Now, talking about Dallas coaching, unfortunately, we won't be able to see any more of Dallas at this point. They're out for good. Their players are taking a little break. They're probably thinking about what they're gonna do come up the next season. But we will see a little bit more of their coaching style at the World Cup because Arrow, the new coach for Dallas, will be coaching the World Cup team for the USA. So looking forward to that, guys. He seems to
pretty
be
cool.
a very grounded guy. I've heard some comments from other very good players and analysts talk about Arrow and his coaching style that it's almost therapeutical. They've said it's almost like talking to a counselor. This
Well,
guy like really gets to know the players.
well, he's okay. He's like so he's a young coach. Like there's no young coaches in the Overwatch League. Or they're all young coaches. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. But what I mean is like he's coming in. He's not a seasoned coach that's been around since the start and in the big times, and so he's willing to take risks. Whereas I think coaches like Kai weren't, and that's where like he wasn't thinking outside the box. He was thinking meta and what he knows and what he remembers, and just wasn't taking risks. I think why Arrow's cool is because he'll take risks and he'll play what he thinks is good, regardless of what the popular opinion is.
Yeah, he has a vision for the team and he executes that vision based on the strengths of the team. I really like that. You can definitely tell that with Dallas Fuel. They were playing to their strengths and it worked out really well towards the end for them. If you guys had to make a prediction of what is going to be the final, what would be your call?
Well, I'm not gonna make my actual prediction because it's crazy because we're too far off. But if
Oh,
we
you
went
gotta make
today,
one now. You can
yeah,
modify it
I'm
after
just
after
just
half
yeah,
playoffs if you want.
I'm clarifying that this isn't my call because it would be silly to call it this early. But if it was right now, I'd say it would be L.A. Valiant uh, and NYXL there. But you just have to take what you saw the last stage of those teams were
Yeah.
definitely the two best. So
What about you, Mel?
I think it's going to be that. I think it will be LA Valiant and NYXL. I just think that the other teams, they might get a fire lit under them and show us something that we haven't seen. But I honestly think the only team that has the potential of surprising us and moving into that, in my opinion, would be the Gladiators.
Yeah,
I
and honestly,
don't think
honestly,
Fusion
that was
Uprising
gonna be.
inspire well.
I was gonna put a little fire into the conversation and say that it could be a battle for LA for the finals.
It
LA
really
might come
could.
to New York and take over. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, it'd be
if
entertaining.
yeah, if that happens, I want every player on both teams to each tweet out them singing "I'm coming to New Yorker." What's that song? Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. Gonna be a part of it. New York, New York, New York. They have to sing that. Yeah, it'd be a fun like ice bucket challenge, and you'd get to see them all sing. It'd be hilarious.
I think it'd be hilarious to finally see them play against each other in a state filled with New York fans that were disappointed that they're there.
Oh boy.
Because
Oh
they're so
boy.
used to playing in
That'll be
LA.
the ultimate offense.
Right. They're so used to playing in LA with the home field advantage every week.
Yeah, that's true. Although they'll be playing against each other, so it's not like New York is gonna be booing one over the other. They're gonna be booing all equally.
Right. Fair enough.
Both of their morals will be toned down, so it will be equal terms.
Oh God.
I will say, guys, we will be at the finals. Like we've said before, the preparations are being done. So we're going to be over there. If you guys are going to be attending New York in the Barclays Center, do get in touch with us. The best place to do that is over on our Discord. If you want to join us and just send us a message, Bob, Mel, or me through the general chat, we'll probably make a dedicated Discord channel for anyone who will be attending the finals so we can easily communicate over there. We don't exactly know how our schedules are going to be going, but we would love to maybe get together with some of the fans, some of the people who listen to the show. If we can get together with some Overwatch people, of course, we would love to do that as well and just have some dinner maybe after one of the matches or hit one of the bars. I'm sure that there's going to be tons of events going on around the venue after the matches. So feel free to reach out. We'll be over there, and we're looking forward to meeting everyone who's also going to be over there.
And we're really good at figuring out where everybody's going.
Yeah, Bob will figure that out for everyone. So if you guys want to know where it's going to be going on, just make sure you know where Bob is.
Yeah, I do have. I just make friends, man. I'm nice to people and genuinely like people. So people are just like animals. If they sense that you like them, they'll like you too.
Bob is like a little social butterfly. You just walk into him with him to a venue. Next thing you know, he's gone. And then like 45 minutes later, he reemerges with like four other people. And he's like, yeah, I just, just met these guys over here. He knows you, by the way, and blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, you get like a group of 10 people just hanging out.
Yeah, some people haven't liked that in the past. Like in college, my wingman would be like, "Dude, you just left me." I was like, "Oh, yeah, I saw so and so," and I went and talked to it. And I saw so and so was behind me, and I had to talk to them. And then I did shots with so and just like, dude, I hate you.
So there you go. Do meet us, but bring your own wingman, okay?
Yeah, you might need to put a leash on me for sure.
I will confirm.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add about playoffs, finals, or anything before we wrap it up? We might have a little shorter show today. Like we said, Overwatch League has been on a break, so there's not a lot of content coming out. A lot of the players are playing other games, taking a break from Overwatch itself. Some of them are still grinding the ladder, getting to know that Hanzo and, getting to know the ins and outs of the infamous Zarya Graph combo plus Storm Arrow. But
Yeah.
yeah, anything you guys want to add?
That is not really. I mean, I think next week we might do like a season in review or something like that, where we kind of go over things that changed, things that happened, big points, because a lot happened in a short six month time.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be good to do like a little reminisce of the main events, things that we really enjoyed or favorite moments. If you guys as listeners want to send us your favorite moments and share them with us, we would love to hear about them and we'll talk about them on the show. We'll share them with everyone else. So make sure to do that because there was a lot of really good stuff that happened in this league. I know that I've become a better Overwatch player just by watching all these awesome teams play.
Oh,
I've
for
learned a lot.
sure.
Definitely. Yeah, and I would just like to leave everybody with the fun fact that Shanghai Dragons have confirmed they're reevaluating things.
Okay, oh, I better be a little skeptical over here because they've been saying that they've been reevaluating, that they've been going back to the drawing board and practicing for a while now. Like,
I know.
I don't want to give Shanghai Dragons crap, but honestly, at this point, you shouldn't even apologize. Just be like, see you next season. We're coming back."
I know, but it's just funny because they made like this tweet and it like got a bunch of talk about it where it says our players and staff have returned to their homes for rest and then will regroup in Shanghai afterwards. Management will also start reviewing our performance during season 1 and begin planning for season 2. That's it. Like
That sounds like what every team is going to do.
right. Like no, you should be like we're going to wipe the slate clean and try again. Like that didn't work. We didn't even win a game.
Yeah, I don't. At this point, I don't want to hold any promises that Shanghai makes me anymore. I just want to see what happens. Okay, don't make me more promises.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. If you want to find the show on Twitter, you can find it over at the Owl Recap. You can also find us on Twitch over at Twitch TV/Owl Recap. We stream every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, more like 9:30 lately, but you can come hang out around 9. We're in chat already. Um, you can also find us on Discord at discord.me/OmnicLab over at the Omnic Lab Discord. That's where we made a little home. You can find Bob, Mel, and I, like we said, if you want to get in touch with us to ask us any questions, submit any questions for the show, or just, hang out for some of the matches once they start again for playoffs. And if you want to email the show, you can do so over at contact@owlrecap.com. If you have any business inquiries, any feedback you want us to show, you can do so over there. Also, congratulations to Tundra, the winner of the
Oh yeah, we should talk
High
about
Noon
that,
Pick'em League.
dude.
Yeah, we never touched it.
We should talk
It's all
about
right.
pickups. Yes, we should talk. I did promise that. Thank you for reminding me.
Tundra, he was competing with us the entire season. I I I didn't see him winning the entire thing because he was hanging out around like the lower top 10, but he gained steam at the end. He made the right picks and he claimed it to himself, even beating Deathblow.
Well,
Bob, you did pretty good towards the end too.
he's uh he's um he's tied with Warhen 117.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. I don't know why I
Um,
hadn't seen that. So
yeah,
I guess Tundra and Warhen 117. Congratulations, my dudes. You have beaten the hosts.
yeah. Deathblow came in third, and Totally Drunk came in fourth. I came in fifth overall. Stage four, I was in first for a good amount of time, but X Blasters X beat me out there. Tundra beat me by 600 points there, and yeah, overall I got beat by 1,450, which I should have had that 450 from the first match in stage four. Dang it!
You're
But
close, man.
yeah,
I ended up
that was a
placing
bummer.
ninth, so it wasn't too bad. I did miss a couple of days of choosing games, so I blame that
Me
on
too.
myself. But I'm happy that at least made it to the top 10. I recovered a little bit. After missing those 2 days. I was like down to like 30th or something. I was like, no,
Yeah,
all my effort. I was doing good at the beginning.
I did that in so many leagues. That's why this one was the one I really cared about. This one I only missed one game pick, whereas other ones I joined, I missed that first day a few times. So he's working on an app, hoping to have an app out for season two, which will make it a lot easier and faster to do your picks. Which will make him a lot more reliable. Because once you like miss
I do
one or
forget
two, it
sometimes. Yeah.
really,
Oh,
really
it
hurts,
hurts.
man.
It does hurt. It does hurt. I
Yeah.
honestly, I thought it was really fun doing it. I hope that everyone who participated had fun doing it. We'll probably do it if they have it for playoffs, just for fun. And as a podcast, I just really enjoy this kind of little game. So as they continue to evolve and get better, if you guys have one app or anything that you guys know that you think would work really well, we're all open to ears because playing with the community and doing this sort of side things, I think is really fun for myself. So
Yeah.
we're open to all these.
And I wish we would have just, I mean, we were in from the start. You know, we could have started a league along with everybody else that had a really, sizably large one, but
Yeah,
we were doing so much, started the show up, and so many different ideas of where
a
to
lot
go
to
with
do. Yeah.
it, and it was kind of a roller coaster for a while. So
I
that
mean,
did want to add extra things like initially we didn't have Discord. We didn't have different things because we didn't want to add too much at once.
this season was definitely a very big learning experience for us. We, as podcasters and content creators, we've never tried covering so deeply an event that is ongoing for such a prolonged period of time. So we learned a lot of lessons. We found our groove, and I think that for next season, we know where we're going a lot better for sure.
Yeah, and I mean that's why we didn't come out with the Patreon early on too, is because we didn't know what we were providing yet. So,
We didn't even know what we were, guys. We were just, at the tiny little creation.
yep. And now we're at toddler and we're crawling, about to
Yeah, we're
walk.
crawling. We got legs. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure talking to you all. And we'll see you guys next week.
Later, guys.
See
Oh,
ya.
you can find me on Twitter at Blazin_Bob. That's BLAZZIN_BOB. Where can we find you, Mel?
You can find me on Twitter at Mel Overwatch.
And you can find me on Twitter at iPlayGames. Bye.
Have a good night.
See you guys.